Golden, Colorado, it's a city that wishes it wasn't a part of the Denver metro area, but it is, and that gives me the great pleasure of making it our featured city of the day. We're going to take a deep dive into Golden, which is a smaller community, but it's right up against the foothills. We're going to take a look at its lifestyle, its affordability, and of course its real estate. If there was an award for most improved city around the Denver metro area, Golden would be the winner, hands down. I've lived in Denver for, 8 years approximately or so. Prior to that, I lived in Boulder for 10, 12 years. Now, why is that important? Well, both of these towns, Golden and Boulder, sit right against the foothills, okay? So they tend to attract a lot of the same type of people that want to do mountain biking, climbing, hiking, and have that all right outside their back door. So there almost seemed to be this rivalry between Golden and Boulder, but Boulder has CU. And so naturally, the incomes were quite a bit higher. You had lots of $1 million plus homes, and Golden just kind of everything sat around the 300s mark, and it really didn't do much. And as silly as it sounds to say, it's almost like Golden was kind of referred to as the slums of Boulder, even though they're far away on a map and they're not even close to being the same town. I mean, they're a 20-minute drive from each other. But that's how it was referred to. Now, fast forward 10 to 15 years, and Golden is the hot spot to be if you want to be close to everything outdoors. And Golden is stacking up there for me compared to Littleton and Parker in the Denver metro area as one of my favorite suburbs to be in. And what are some things that put them on my list for being one of the best suburbs around Denver? Well, it comes down to Christmas, okay? I can't help it. I am a huge fan of Christmas. It's my favorite time of year, and downtown Golden has the hallmark feel to it, okay? There's only a few suburbs around Denver that have that feel. It's going to be Littleton, it's going to be Parker, it's going to be Arvada, and it's going to be Golden. And dang it, I just can't help it, so it puts it on top of my list for one of the best Denver suburbs. And for those of you who are new here, I'm Alex Saldana. I've been a local real estate agent since 2010 in the Denver metro area, and I've been helping home buyers, owners, and investors get their questions answered on this channel. So if you're new here, feel free. If you got any questions, reach out, text, phone, email, nights, days, weekends, I got you covered. So let's get back to Golden. Where is Golden located? Well, Golden is located on the westernmost part of the Denver metro area. And I mean, the access to everything outdoors is literally in your backyard. You want to be on some world-class climbing in 5 minutes? Golden's your place. You want to be in some world-class mountain biking in 5 minutes? Golden is your place. And as far as access around the city, it's actually really, really convenient because this is where Route 6, I-70, and 470 all combine. So if you need to go south into DTC or south of 470 off of I-25 there, you've got 470 which wraps around the city. There's not usually a lot of traffic in that area. You need to go south of Denver, well, you can hop on 6. You need to go into the heart of downtown, you got I-70. You need to go north into Boulder, you've got 93. Like, you are at the gateway to the Rockies from Denver. Now, if you do need to commute into downtown Denver from Golden, you're looking at about a 25 to 30 minute drive with traffic. If you're needing to commute to the tech center during the heaviest peak times at about 5 p.m., you're looking at about a solid 45-minute drive. If you're looking to head to the high country to go skiing, let's say to Breckenridge, about an hour and 20-minute drive with traffic, you're probably looking at more like an hour and 45 to 2 hours. So it's still going to be quicker than most of the Denver metro area. You're going to save yourself about 15 to 30-minute drive at 5:30 in the morning compared to the rest of the Denver metro area. Or you can save yourself about 20 to 30 minutes, head over to A Basin, and you're looking at about a solid hour without much traffic. And if you do need to head up to Boulder, you're looking at about a 30-minute drive of one of the prettiest drives in the Front Range. And what's great is even if you need to head over to DIA, you're looking at about a 45-minute drive, and that's going to be during your heaviest peak times. So it's pretty comparable to most rest of the city. And we can't talk about Golden without talking about Red Rocks. Red Rocks is literally outside your back door, 15-minute drive south, with the most incredible concerts in the country. Arguably, it's always in the top 3 list, but as we all know, it's really number 1. But what most people don't actually know about Red Rocks is that even on days that they have an event, the amphitheater and the surrounding areas are open until, I believe, 2 o'clock. So you can go park there, and they have an incredible hiking trail system all around Red Rocks. You can go into the amphitheater. They have yoga on the rocks, Sunday morning services on the rocks, movies on the rocks. They have all sorts of events going on there that are not just concerts. And whenever I have someone come in from out of town, it's literally on my top list of things to do with them because they're easy hikes. It's some of the most beautiful landscape in the Front Range, and it's Red Rocks. I mean, everybody's heard of Red Rocks. And if you're looking for an overall commute time, if you live in Golden, it's on average 25 and a half minutes. So Golden, Colorado was founded in 1859 for the same reason that I feel like all these towns were started. Gold. Now, this one makes a little bit more sense. It's literally the gateway to the west where most of the gold mining was done, and it separated out the foothills and all the harshness out there to the eastern part, which is plains all the way from Golden until, Pennsylvania just about. And it was originally called Golden City, and it was the capital of the entire Colorado territory at the time. Now, since then, Golden really hasn't expanded into this big metropolis area. It's got a small footprint. They don't like a whole ton of building there, so the population hasn't really exploded like the rest of Denver, but that's actually made prices go up quite a bit more because there's not a whole lot of building that's going on. So if you want to be in Golden, you got to pay Golden prices. And now Golden is, of course, infamous for having the Coors Brewery, which, of course, you can go to and take a full tour of, which is fantastic. Now, you've been taking my word on why I think Golden, Colorado is such an incredible city, but this is where I love to head over to niche.com, and I'll have a link in the description below that you can check it out and check out any stat for any city around the Denver metro area, for that fact, to see how they rate the different cities and the quality of life. So let's take a look at what niche.com has for Golden's report card, starting with public schools. A- for public schools overall. They're rated extremely well there. Now, C for housing, which, as we know, the reason for that is because real estate prices are going to be up there. We haven't covered it yet, but we will here in a minute, so hang tight. A-, good for families, which is not uncommon. They have a ton of outdoor activities, lots of new stuff that has gone in for parks and recreation for around Golden, so not a surprise they rank really high there. B- for jobs. You know, the jobs in Golden are not that vast. It's mostly going to be touristy, restaurant, retail sort of work in the Golden area. Most of the tech jobs, things like that, most of the white-collar, high-paying jobs are going to be more towards the Denver area. C- for cost of living. It's expensive to live in Golden because of the quality of life. A for outdoor activities. I mean, you literally can't get any better. You can't get any closer. You can't get any more high quality of outdoor activities anywhere in the world than you can in Golden, Colorado. B- for crime and safety. We cover this on every single video. The Denver metro area has a high crime rate for vehicle thefts. A for nightlife. There actually is a bunch of bars and restaurants that are open fairly late, and they're all down in that little downtown hub. B+ for diversity. B+ for weather. I mean, yeah, we do get a lot of hail here on the Front Range, so, you know, even though we do have all 4 seasons and we are a dry climate, so cold isn't as cold, hot isn't as hot, yeah, we got hail. But we don't have hurricanes, alligators, or earthquakes. A for health and fitness, pretty self-explanatory, and A- for commute. And that gives us an overall rating of A in Golden, Colorado. I'm not very surprised by this report card. As for parks and recreation around Golden, Colorado, that can be an entire 4-hour video just covering that. But within the city limits, the Golden, Colorado park system has 253 acres of parks, 24 miles of trails, and over 400 acres of open space. And the amount of hiking right outside your back door is just a little ridiculous. I mean, starting up north, you've got North Table Mountain Park. Getting into the heart of Golden, you have Lookout Mountain, which is a great place to go, especially if you're from out of town. The view of Denver from there is incredible. You've got the Chimney Gulch Trail, and then heading south, you've got Dinosaur Ridge, which is one of our favorite places to go mountain biking, but it's not for the faint of heart, okay? So what I would highly suggest, if you're from out of town, heck, even if you're in town and you're not used to hiking, mountain biking, climbing, is to really dig into reviews on these places. So there are some extreme trails, there are some extreme cliff drop-offs that if you're not comfortable with, might be outside of your comfort zone. So make sure you look at a ton of reviews. We're in Colorado, remember. We all have that friend who says, yeah, no, it's not too bad of a hike. 20 miles later, 16 hours later, 12,000 feet of elevation gain later, you've just done 214ers that you didn't realize was going to be what it was. You should have brought 2 gallons of water and you brought a 32-ounce Nalgene with you. Like, we all have those people in our lives that may not fully understand other people's capabilities. So just make sure you look into reviews deeply and get a good assessment for what the terrain is like, because there is some dangerous stuff out here. Now, onto the school system for Golden, Colorado, which does affect everybody, because whether or not you have kids, you're going to be paying property taxes, and that does go into our school system, which affects resale value and quality of life. Now, Golden, Colorado is a part of Jefferson County School District, and it's rated extremely high. And I'll have a link in the description for niche.com and greatschools.org that you can look into all the details and stats of the different schools. As being a real estate agent, as you might be aware of, I can't go into too many details about the schooling system, but hopefully this information gives you everything that you need to know. Now, what I can say personally is that I do have a lot of friends that are moving to the western suburbs for the school districts, as most of them have kids that are getting into the middle school age. The middle schools around more Denver proper struggle a little bit more in the ratings, but the further west you go, just like Littleton and into Golden, they rate really well in the middle school ages. So let's now dig into Golden, Colorado and its real estate, because whether you rent, whether you own, it does affect your quality of life. Now, to start with the high-level overview of real estate prices in Golden. Back in 2013, January, the median home price in Golden, Colorado was $402,000. And now fast forward to today, July of 2023, the median home price in Golden, Colorado is $815,000. That's the median price, folks. The average price is actually $945,000. That's an increase in price by over 100% in the last decade, and the median price already started at $400,000. Most of the rest of the Denver metro area at that time was maybe around $250,000 to $300,000. So being that it was already at $400,000 and then increased to over $800,000 is pretty extreme growth. Now, how does that stack up to the rest of the Denver metro area? Well, let's break it down. We've got Denver sitting at $570,000. We've got Arvada sitting at $605,000 as the median price. There's Littleton at $644,000 and Aurora at $480,000. And popping up to Boulder, we've got it topping out at $983,000 as the median sales price. Now, the median sales price being $815,000 is all fine and dandy, but let's look at what you can buy today in the city of Golden for that median sales price. Now, by the time you see this video, it's very likely that those homes are not going to be on the market. I mean, average days on market is well under 2 weeks for the city of Golden right now. But what I'll have is a link in the description below of our preferred Golden homes that you can check out. You can get into your inbox every single day if you want. So now is the perfect time to go over what the cost of living would actually be like if you were to buy the median home price of $815,000, get a conventional 30-year loan. And by the way, I'll have a link in the description below for our mortgage calculator that you can plug in and kind of look and see what your own limits are. Now, not everything's going to be $800,000. We've got plenty of homes here around that $500 to $600 mark. But if you were looking at the median home price of $815,000, and you were to put down 20% or $163,000 on a 30-year fixed loan at 7% interest rate, figuring in property taxes, which are going to be lower than your national average by a lot. We're actually the third lowest for property taxes in the country. Figuring in home insurance of about $2,400 a year, that puts your monthly mortgage payment at about $4,900 a month. So it's definitely not on the cheap side. Now, beyond your mortgage, what does the rest of cost of living look like? Well, We are higher than the national average, and overall, we're 15% more than the national average when you get all categories involved. But housing is 60% above the national average. Utilities, 13% under the national average. Groceries, 6% under. And transportation, we're just at about break even. So the moral of the story is, if you want the high quality of life that Golden can offer, you do have to pay more to be here. But what if you're not a fan of being directly in the foothills like that, with having ski traffic come through your town every single day in the wintertime? What I want you to do is watch this video about Parker, Colorado. It's the #2 rated city in the US according to Money Magazine. And this is one of my other favorite suburbs around the Denver metro area. And hopefully it provides just as much insight into Parker as we have into Golden today.